Hi, welcome back. It is Laura at Hyperstamper. I have a lovely book here. It's 84 years old and it's a children's book, and I've turned it into a junk journal using only authentic antique and vintage ephemera throughout. There's no commercial products in here whatsoever, so it's a real journey through a wonderful time, and you'll learn a lot. You'll enjoy the art of the day and just have a piece of history. I took the cover, kept this spine intact, and added some beads from vintage necklaces that matched this beautiful cover. Anything can happen. So I thought that was a great title for a junk journal. I love that the original book plate is in here. Somewhere along the line, somebody had erased and rubbed out the original name on there, which is a shame. I would like to see the name of somebody who owned it. Sorry, I'm trying to get this little 1964 stamp here from Paris. So that's tucked in there. Little keepsake. Here's the original first pages of the book. Anything can happen. 1940 down here. And this is from 1925. Look at this, some vegetable folks that you can make. You know what? I'm tempted to do this. I think it's hilarious and wonderful. And more on the other side, how to make cork dolls. Really neat. This is from the 1800s here. The great noise. Look at these wonderful illustrations. This beautiful paper with original foxing around the edges. Vintage schoolbook paper. And here's a lovely old postcard. And this, I did some research, and I think it's from the 40s, and hard to tell. I'm just going by actually the back of it. And I can usually tell by the back how old a postcard is. This is from the 1930s here, this lovely little pocket made out of a children's book page, as well as this page here. Put some lace up here. This is from a 1905 book on woodworking. It's beautiful, beautiful illustrations here for the day. Peekaboo window, journaling spot here, and a vintage recipe card that never got written on, but I just love the aging, the original aging of it. That was a real treasure from my brother-in-law. And here is a book cover that was too damaged to use as a junk journal, and instead of throwing it out, I decided to turn it into a tag. So there's the Oxford Book of English Prose. And then I made a waterfall journaling spot here. So 4 pages to journal on there, made of antique papers as well. Very old papers. And here's the rest of that 1800s children's book page here. And here's another one of these wonderful 1925 pages. Look at this, ring toss. We still play that to this day, log cabin. And this is from a 1950s Theatre World magazine, and just a wonderful, wonderful first page there, so it tells you the contents of what's inside. You may even recognize some of these names if you're a film history buff. Things to make and do. Vintage page here, and this is from an American gardening book from the early 1900s. That's part of a book there. Just some really fun clusters in here. This is from a 1937 bird book, and that is plate 51. Look at that, gorgeous. Oh, it's just spectacular. I love it. Birds of prey there. Another 1930s book page here. An interior spine. I love the texture of those interior spines. It's sort of my signature thing to do. I use them in all of my journals. A vintage playing card that you can upcycle. Have some fun with your artwork with that. And a antique paper journaling envelope card. And a 1950s Pearl Shop receipt there. And more of that wonderful children's crafts to make. Now this here, I don't know if you can see that. It says, it's embossed, and it says Count Hannibal, and that is what I pulled out of the interior spine of the book. And that is an old box from the 40s that I found something in. And then I turned this into a little pocket, and I put in here a plate, also from the 1800s. Look at this wonderful, feeding her birds, a woman feeding her little children. Isn't that sweet? I love it so much. I love the 1800s plates. They're just fantastic. My favorite. That came from a 1950s teen music magazine and 1950s stamp collectors magazine. And this is a page out of that same teen music magazine. Look at that. Albums to remember. A lot of fun there. You can Google those stars. The lyrics to some of the songs of the day, which is pretty cool. And then this is the 1930s children's book page here at the fair. Wonderful images. Look at this. The 12 Men Gave Us Immortal Music. Look at that. It's fantastic. That is 1937, I believe. University Encyclopedia. There's a plate of George Washington, and look at this, Paris fashions from the 1500s. This is a very old plate in very good condition. So that is a treasure for people who like to collect old fashions. Look at that, right up to 1913. Look at that. Oh, so anyways, very, very special, and I hope whoever gets this journal loves it as much as I loved putting it in here, even though it broke my heart a little bit. But I can't keep everything. I just can't. My house will fall down. This is one of those wonderful German books. This is one of the last ones here. Just really fun, very, very collectible. Look at that beautiful image of a jellyfish. The graphics are just to die for, which is why they're so collectible. And a little hidden journaling spot there and there. You'll notice here I put a little bit of Canadian birch bark, and these are the pieces of book covers. And here's just a wonderful little vintage children's book page, words for animals, and down here you'll see a vintage recipe for coconut pudding. Yum! I don't know. This is done with a fountain pen here, 1888, April. And then this is very special. This would have been a souvenir hanky. Look at this. Isn't that lovely? And that was from Ottawa, which is the capital of my country, Canada. And just exquisite. It's got a little pansy there in the corner. I love it. I had a little bit of trouble parting with this, but I have so many hankies and I want to gift them away. So this is another wonderful piece of cloth here. Pulled cotton, and this is a doily making book from the 50s. Another wonderful children's book page from the 40s. Just really great clusters in here. Look at this. Look at this little girl with the pony. This is from the 1930s, early 1930s. I want to say 1932. And here is another wonderful children's book page, two little boys fishing, and I put antique paper on the back to journal on, give it some strength as well. And on the flip side here is from 1892, and this is January calendar there, and then it's called the Japanese floral, and then going ahead into the next year, Ring in the New Year, 1893. How great is that? Oh, that's a real treasure. Oh my gosh, this is a great book. This is a great junk journal. I'm happy for whoever gets this one, which will be in my Etsy shop right after this video goes out. And yeah, there is a children's book page. It's one of the end pages. You can see the stitching holes here, which I left in. I just love the colors. I love that a little child scribbled on it. I love everything about that. And this is from the 1800s. It's blank, but it's pretty cool. Explanatory notes page, and it's very brittle, so it may break, but just be gentle with it. If it breaks, just tuck it into a pocket. This is some vintage Monopoly money. One piece from the 1930s, and then that just came from a children's book page. I thought it was hilarious. 1930s. Look at that beautiful image of the sky, the night sky. And there is a flag raising here, and then we have another bit of a doily book, and that brings us to the end. Oh, what a great junk journal. I hope you love it as much as I loved making it. And come back soon. Bye for now.